Senna.
Tom.
Tom. Yeah, Tom doesn't really want to be following up engages too often, though.
Yeah.
Kind of wants to sit next
Hui
to
and then
Senna.
Fiora.
Yeah, Hui is great follow-up. Admittedly, he just has so much range.
Now, early stages of this lane top isn't the easiest for the Cassante, but once you get sort of the Bramble Vest or whatever you choose to go first, Bramble Vest, depending on the Fiora build, can be very good. Of course, already healing in the kit, if they go for the Ravenous Hydra, it means that a 1v1 is a lot easier to play because they're just not healing as much.
Yeah.
But as you get sort of the Bramble Vest or you start to work towards your Iceborne Gauntlet, it actually becomes a lot easier. Lakai, obviously, pretty easy to riposte any of the Cassante CC.
Yeah, very telegraphed. Except for maybe the ult.
Yeah, the ult's a little bit harder, but of course, generally, you can see the Cassante doesn't usually just dry ult. He wants to walk to a position and ult you, either further away from your tower, through a wall, or what have you. And so you can kind of telegraph it that way. Now, Kazma starting red side will be spotted on this ward, so it will be Lava who really has the choice to go wherever he wants based on that information, whereas none was gained for Helpix.
Yeah, and I think he gets off lightly there, as we've seen Fiora's in those spots just harass you off of your buffs, similar to what an Udyr might do. But Lakai wanting to prioritize his lane phase is very strong in these early levels, so wants to take advantage of that. Procs of Idol. Gonna get another one, maybe? Nope.
G-Trade's not going too well for him.
Yeah,
nice dodge.
ICU dodges out.
And this is entirely just off minion damage that Lakai's found himself at half HP, because movement was the first ability taken by this Cassante. Now, he is going down in CS as a result, of course, but that's to be expected in these early stages of that top lane matchup.
Yeah. Yeah, only really worry is the lane state for ICU is kind of pushing away from him. But maybe he's fixed that up now.
And Chi-Chi, I mean, we've seen him play the center twice, and he's undefeated on it thus far.
Yeah.
It certainly looked like what he's performing best on. Lakai just getting a bit of poke there with the riposte.
Yeah, making ICU suffer a bit.
Second win as well as Dawn Shield, though, for this Cassante means he ultimately should be pretty fine. You're not really looking to dive as Fiora and Nocturne, so... We've harped on about the top lane matchup, but I'm excited to see the mid lane because I'm not really sure how Yone is supposed to ever trade into Hui. It feels like if you do ever use that E, it'll just be matched by pretty much the W,
QQ.
the EQ out of Hui, which just fears you and you're running backwards. But at least for now, Xingbai is actually going to have himself a 5 CS lead off just the first 4 waves, I believe, even holding it near his tower to make it a little bit harder. Dodging out off some damage as well.
Kazma looking for something bot side, maybe. They are on top of a ward. Is just going to secure the crab. Lava's going to walk to enemy raptors, find nothing there, and get a recall in. So ICU going
this
very
is
low.
Scary. This is very scary now.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the easiest lane. Now, once again, it's Kazma walking into this bot try, but it was spotted. That ward still exists. ICU getting very low, as is Lakai. Nice dodge with the riposte. Minions doing a lot of damage there.
Oh, that's terrifying. No one using a summoner yet. Xingbai.
Yeah, Xingbai getting so low in this mid lane as well.
Minji's got plenty of mana too. He's sacrificed a lot of CS by the look of it to get these trades off. If he can't translate this into a bad recall for Xingbai, that's just advantage Xingbai. Looks like Xingbai will hang in there. Lava not on a champ that can really punish a low HP Yone staying in lane. He's gonna look to maybe dive.
He's looking for an invade onto Kazma. Not a bad idea, obviously, seeing Xingbai's health, but it's very hard for Nocturne to ever actually kill the Sejuani, and now was looking for these raptors, is going to get that vision plant, but doesn't find anything, and Kaz will be able to pretty happily pick up his raptors. It is going to be the Void Grubs, though, started and most likely picked up for Lava, so... Yeah,
he kind of has to hit these as well because he's just got nothing to do otherwise, and with both solo lanes from the Helpigs getting pressured, it's just, a free Void Grubs. I don't think Kazma's even going to go for a smite. He's just going to go for the dragon, actually.
Yeah,
A
looking
little
for
bit
it.
scary.
Now, it is started. Some vision already set up by Arding to try and ensure this one. And correct me if I'm wrong, but in our last series of Halpigs, was it not Arding who had one of the greatest... No, it was against Beyond, where Arding just found Feng with hook after hook after hook.
Yeah, Feng, not
and we
an easy
didn't get
player
to see
hook.
his Nautilus after that. It got banned every game, so...
Yeah, we'll see if he can get a repeat performance in. So Halpigs do manage to trade the dragon.
Yeah, that feels like a fantastic trade.
Yeah.
And so mid lane is all evened out after a bit of punishment came down from Minji, but he does have...
Oh, Lakai holds on to his TP. Going to be an advantage for him in the top lane. Not sure if he's really going to be able to get much done against the Bramble and the Cloth Armor.
Yeah, I think now the top lane has become a lot easier for ICU.
Yeah.
Lakai, of course, just constantly has outplay pressure. If he ever dodges a couple of those Natofu strikes from ICU's Cassante, then the trade should definitely go in his favor. And
yeah.
Obviously, with true damage coming through from Fiora's kit, it means that that Pathmaker loses a bit of value that it usually has, as well as just a riposte. You can't use it really for CC. You can't use it that well for damage reduction.
Shanghai getting a ridiculously deep ward. As you sometimes have to do with a champ like Nocturne, you want to know which side of the map he's on. It's going to help ICU quite a bit.
Yeah, it's definitely hard as well to ward River for Nocturne, because he can come from...
It's just straight down the lane.
Yeah, he can come straight down the lane or anywhere else. So knowing what camp he's at usually works the best. Flash forward from Lava. They're going to be able to find this kill. It's first blood. Picked up nice and smoothly. No questions asked for J-Team. Tishi being the one that gets that 400 gold bequeathed upon him.
Yeah, and I like that God JJ doesn't bother flashing there. You know, it's pretty impossible to survive that gank. You know, from that spot in lane as Smolder, so gets the Nocturne flash, goes down. Not the end of the world. Maybe a plate as well going to J-Team. So, yeah, Nocturne with one ult target really this game finds it.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, it's going to be a lot harder for this Nocturne to play later on in the game.
Oh, nice.
True for this Fiora as well. You know, it's not the lane phase for the Fiora we're worried about. It's going to be whether she can have impact in this game. Is up against a lot of melee champions.
That is true, but that makes the game for Sejuani also a lot easier.
Yeah. Yeah, it has a lot of CC that maybe Riposte isn't going to be enough. So, massive wave shoved in. Ursan, no TP. This is going to be a couple plates, maybe, for God JJ.
Probably just the one, but certainly good. And it denies 1 minion wave. Smolder, despite going down early, has picked up 50 stacks, or 49 as things stand.
Yeah. Has gone for the D-Ring and Dark Seal. So a WQ now will one-shot the way of Shanghai. Always in the enemy jungle. Doesn't look like he's having much trouble getting cryo.
It was the 2 plates. GodJJ staying quite a long time.
Yeah, well played by him. He has to just get out of here. Does use the flat very early.
Yeah, a little early.
Oh, nice.
Flash forward. It's going to be answered. Oh, my.
Oh, maybe an overreaction with the heal. The flash in response. Pretty reasonable. Nocturne coming too.
You may have been able to get out, but the heal certainly was overkill.
But as long as GodJJ can just stay safe, he has no one near him, though.
Yeah,
I mean, you're going to lose a lot of plates. So maybe Arding can get down in time to defend. He doesn't have ulti yet, though. And dives are very easy with a Nocturne Time combo.
Well, but did sit there for a while, ends up going away. Through will come.
Okay. Okay, that is reasonable to me. If they can get God JJ in position under the tower now, he can kill these waves very easily.
Yeah.
So it'll be hard to dive him. Still
Minji
playing very respectful.
Yeah, Minji quietly get himself a CS lead.
Yeah. So maybe Yon, not the counter.
Yeah, but feels okay, right? Skirmishing will be more powerful for Yon as long as you're able to find some angles.
Oh,
nice hook lands onto Chi-Chi, and he's so low. Devour going to be used. Tail dive going to come out. There's no sums here on the Smolder, remember, it's fair. Will land, arting those, trying to find as much CC as humanly possible.
Wow.
But it's not going to be enough as 2 kills found for JT on that bottom side dive.
Wow, and I thought once Arding found such a nice hook onto the center, into the tower, that they wouldn't be able to go for this dive anymore. But God JJ, no sums, just goes down so easily. And I think, honestly, Kazma overstaying on the top side of the map just way too long. Taking both camps up there, you know, just leaving his bot lane hanging for so long. As, you know, you saw a very shaky dive coming out.
Yeah, it wasn't the cleanest, but they certainly get it done. And now we have a 2-0 center as well as a 1-0 Nocturne with that experimental Hex plate. But it's going to be HPS once again aggroing this dragon.
No Nocturne center or Tom ult probably means you're getting this as HPS.
Yeah, Minji very far away, teleport very close to being up. So we'll see if he commits it.
Yeah,
I feel like if they're going to want to fight it, the time has to be now. But it seems like they're okay to give it up. And so WinCon certainly on the table now for the side of HPS. They're 2k gold down, but they have themselves those first 2 dragons. And it's going to be the Chem Tech Dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I mean, ICU desperately wants to get a recall off.
Yeah. I think he's pretty safe to use his TP now. It's probably the best time to use it.
Yeah, it'll be back up by the time next dragon spawns, and you're already on the side of the map that Rift Herald is if you wanted to contest that.
Yeah.
Seems like he will be able to, though, as Lakai clears out his minion wave. ICU doing the same now.
Lakai's
Hydra.
TP, very out of sync for next dragon. He does want to avoid showing up to dragon fights anyway. And I want to see a bit more prioritization of the bot lane from Kazma here. Just because this Smolder can cause so many problems for the enemy team comp. And just because it's Nocturne's only play in this game is to go bot. And to, you know, constantly pressure the Smolder.
For sure. And we're seeing the results of that, right? The 0-2 Smolder, 0-1 on Arding here on the Nautilus. So definitely getting punished at the moment. It will get a little bit easier as items come online for God JJ, as the front line gets a bit beefier, as well as when grouping starts to happen. It's a lot harder for Nautilus to just pull that trigger, go on in.
Yeah, and I was going to say Nocturne generally doesn't go for much damage after the experimental Hexplate, but there is a longsword picked up by Luava, and
Eclipse.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate to see it.
Eclipse Axiom Arc. It's something that...
Though armor a pretty valuable stat this game.
Yeah, no, very much so. I think noticeably there is only one true tank on their lineup, and that's going to be Yuri-san on the Time Kench, and so in many ways getting away with murder are HPS is.
Yeah, even Fiora can get herself maybe a Death Stance. Not the strongest item at the moment, but you know, you're going to get so much value from any armor items. You know, Minji can get himself a Zonya's. Already a bunch of armor picked up on Yuri-san.
Oh, it's going to be Luden's companion in this game, by the way, for Minji.
Okay. I don't hate it. He's solo AP. Shengbai ults onto him.
Shengbai does ult onto him. Will get fed away. Isn't going to be all that much follow-up.
That is exactly what we expected in this matchup.
Very much so. You got to somehow dodge out of that fear or hope Minji misses it for you to have any real kill pressure.
Yeah. So Rift going to be... I mean, it could be contestable. I mean, God JJ doesn't have his first item completed, though.
Shengbai just happy to teleport bot. They're just answering and trying to get a bot lane tower.
Yeah, and Shengbai with no ult. I mean, if you can get a tower for a Herald, that's almost always going to be worth it.
Yeah.
Occasionally, you can get 2 towers with the Herald, but most of the time...
It's half of a chunk on the mid lane tower.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, sometimes you'll get a whole tower with it, with the push Minji.
Oh, Minji getting walked in, and he's going to get stunned up. A lot of damage coming down, but is it enough? Through will come Mum, but it's not. Minji finds at least 1 kill. Shengbai a little bit too late to the play as God JJ trying to fight his way over. Does get himself 1 in response. Chi-Chi's doing some damage to the Sejuani, but ultimately nothing too much to speak of. And on the top side, it's ICU. Counter pick given to Lakai, but it's going to be ICU picking up the first blood in that lane, bringing those solo kills to double the amount of prior to the series.
Honestly, I thought Minji was griefing there, just walking into bot side when, you know, they're cross-mapping you for a bot lane tower. he face checks Sejuani Nautilus, but you see how much damage is coming out of the Senna, and no item Minji on the Hui just manages to kill Arding instantly. I mean, this Senna does such a good job of keeping him alive, and they trade back so much damage. Arding goes down. Does hold on to his flash. Minji has to flash, so GodJJ is able to pick up a much appreciated kill with how poorly his early game's gone. And not really expecting this. Nice
as soon as the riposte comes through, it's over.
Yeah, nice dodge from ICU.
Yeah.
As, yeah, Fiora off to a rough start now.
Didn't use flash. Did pop the ultimate, but too little too late. But yeah, fantastically done by ICU on this Cassante.
Yeah.
Giving his team a little bit more hope. Of course, Smolder picking up 1 kill as well feels pretty good. It was a trade.
Yeah, and a fed Cassante is going to be very difficult to kill. We've talked about the Senna Cassante matchup. Even a fed Senna is going to struggle to kill this Cassante.
Oh, root lands, Kazma. Here's Sejuani.
Yeah. This is actually just a very tanky comp from Helpigs.
Yeah, and not a lot of ways to kill it. Noticeably, of course, the Fiora, but Fiora's just solo died, so will be stunted in her growth for a little bit.
Minji at the moment.
Yeah, Minji at the moment, of course, building a lot of damage for the early game, but as time progresses and as magic resist comes through, this Sway build will not be doing too much damage.
He might have mana issues later, but for now, that was through Sejuani passive. Oh, maybe the Luden's buff got the Hui. Got the Luden's there on the Hui. He's doing a lot of damage. Third dragon, maybe not going to be contested by Helpigs, as there's a nice trade from Lakai.
Yeah, but it's looking to be answered. Has flash, does not have ult. Arding in the area, got to watch out for this riposte, but they're just chaining the CCs. Don't even have the chance to use it.
Yeah, and with this much CC, you get one chance to riposte, and maybe if you land the riposte, you get out there, but there is so much crowd control. He just goes down from 100 to 0 against 3 tanks.
And it all just starts off with that Arctic Assault coming out of Sejuani, just the simple Q into ult, hook, knocked up by Nautilus, knocked up by Cassante, and all of a sudden you found yourself 100 to 0 in the top side.
Yeah, unfortunately Kazma does end up getting the kill, but ICU will pick himself up a tower. Plenty of gold there. Unfortunately not going to be first tower, but still happy with any gold you're getting onto this Cassante. We've seen Cassante take over games plenty of times.
GodJJ getting closer and closer to his stacks.
Yeah, not stacking too well this game. 118 at 18 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, last game tied, I believe.
I mean, Chi-Chi only on 60 stacks himself, so no one super accelerated this game. Chi-Chi with plenty of gold, though, to make up for a lack of stacks. You know, not a lot of tanks for GodJJ to stack off of either.
Now, I mean, ultimately a minute until Baron spawns won't be likely looked at by either team, as damage is kind of lacking for now. Helpigs, they have a little bit more damage, of course, around there, but you're going to struggle to even do that in the face of a center in a way. As well as Nocturne coming in and turning off the lights makes it very scary, so...
Yeah.
I think for now you're happy sitting back, hoping GodJJ can get some of these stacks, get up to his 225, which is really where the power is within this champ.
Yeah, especially on such a tanky comp where you don't have all that much damage. Just a percentage HP burn and an execute, you know, is going to get you there for a lot of kills. So Minji's got a second item. He accelerated into that second item so suddenly.
Horizon focus.
And they're going to push this advantage.
See if they can find anything. It's just going to be GodJJ answering with an ult.
Yeah, so much wave clear on Smolder.
He's at 142 all of a sudden, so...
Yeah. Yeah, the stacks do have a way of just accelerating. The more stacks you have, the quicker you can get stacks, especially once you hit the 115 threshold. Hook lands.
Hook lands is going to be landing onto this time. Kench, and a lot of follow-up is here, of course.
Ooh.
Nice ultimate coming out of Minji, as well as the fear onto the Sejuani. So it's ICU running up. Another fantastic fear. This Cassante made to run backwards. And Chi-Chi trying to look for damage himself. In fact, sending this Cassante tail between legs, running back to the rest of his team.
Yeah, and I really like that Lakai didn't overreact there and teleport. His team knew they could get out. They're telling him they can get out, and they just, you know, get away from it. He's able to take a tower on the top lane, and Hellpig's just overzealous maybe. They already used Smolder ulti to get away from, to clear a wave. And I think ICU was fine just defending top, and, you know, they've kind of let Fiora get a bunch of gold now and make up for the couple deaths she's got. As no one on Hellpigs was anywhere near Arding when he shot that hook.
Sure, lands it onto Yusan, ults Chi-Chi. Pretty ideal combo in many ways. It means that the Devour can't come out, and hopefully you can kill the center in time. But when it's only a Nautilus, you're certainly not going to be able to do so. You really do need this Yone and Cassante around to make it more likely. Yeah. And a cool interaction that can happen in these fights, although it's like very hard to pull off, is if Cassante somehow makes his way to the Tahm Kench or the center before the Devour comes out, then you can
split the combo.
Split the two up and make it a lot easier to take down the center. Either way, if you ult the center, yes, Abyssal Voyage can come down, but oftentimes you'll have enough damage as this Cassante to just take her out before the Tahm can make it there. And if you take the Tahm, it's going to be very hard for him to rejoin through the CC. Out will come, once again, Mum. It actually misses everyone. As Minji burning them down.
Engage really not connecting by Hellpigs. They're not willing to pull the trigger on the Sejuani or the Nautilus ult.
And these Smolder ults are truly not finding their mark as well.
Yeah, his ult sucks, though. It honestly isn't too bad. Minji way
he's looked at. Yeah, he's been found. He's going to get stunned up. Stun up again. Deval comes out, but that's not onto your center. Over the wall will he come. Fantastic Q3 coming out of this Cassante. They've found one kill. Low health bars, though, as Minji was not going to go down without having something to say. Flash away from Lalva. Chi-Chi walking forward. It's a little bit dangerous. Got to be careful of Cassante turning around. And Lakai, once again, he's not going to respond. He's just going to stay up top. Picks himself up a massive amount of gold with that top tower. And now Xingbai's coming to answer.
Yeah, no ulti on the Nocturne means they're probably getting this Dragon. And this is kind of where you want to be as Hellpigs. The pressure is getting a bit much from the Fiora. Mostly because he's just sitting there in lane, refusing to teleport. But you've got the 3 dragons, so he's eventually going to have to show up. As Minji's just way overextended here, does manage to get to the wall for Ursan to eat him over, but look at this Q3 from ICU, salvaging the play. And you see, with just the Senna on him, this Cassante's never going down. You know, he's confident to E forward when there are 3 people onto him. Yeah, and it's only going to get harder for the Senna. Even though Chi-Chi's going for the LDR, it's not going to make a difference. Minji gets plenty of damage out.
Yeah, absolutely. Got so much.
Yeah.
And that was trying to salvage the fight, but ultimately...
and that's a fight he started in melee range of a Sejuani, Nautilus.
Yeah. But ultimately didn't find a kill in return. It was a lot of gold, of course, traded up in the top side.
Yeah.
But this has given more time now for Smolder to scale. There's 3 dragons in favor of Hellpigs, and so ultimately if they want to give over 1 dragon, it should feel okay. Giving your Smolder a little bit more time.
So I am glad to see God JJ has the quick blades on Smolder. Just for my sake, because it seems like everyone else stopped building it and I didn't get the memo, but God JJ didn't get the memo either. As we're usually seeing Shojin second into maybe an RFC, and we even saw Leandri's, you know, squeezed into the build too, but pretty much everyone shying away from the quick blades. So this Fiora very strong, picked up so much gold in the side lane. Yeah, it's pretty happy to duke it out with the Yone or the Cassante at this point. And I wonder if there was a way for Hellpigs to manage this mid-game a little better so the Fiora didn't get so much, as they're engaging on Luava.
Yeah,
bit of a disjointed engage.
ICU, though, he should feel pretty safe. I mean, Lakai does damage to him, but Lakai doesn't want to be hitting the Cassante for the most part.
Yeah, they've got to get a base on Xingbei.
Yeah, it's a little bit of sustain, but also can be under threat of Lakai just tower diving.
And I wonder if the Yone pick was intended to match the Fiora later in the game in the side lane.
Perhaps. Wow, and gold, I mean... It is 5k in advantage for J Team, and that is just off towers. That is pretty much Lakai and Lakai alone. 50 CS as well as 2 solo towers, one of which was an inner.
Yeah.
Oh, Xingbai. Some intelligent usage of his Q there in Lakai. Oh, does manage to sidestep away from that Fate's called, and so at least this 1v1's looking Xingbai favored.
Yeah.
If that Fate's call ever lands.
Yeah, with riposte down.
Oh, ICU. There's no Fiora here, so he's not going to be going down very quickly. Although a lot of damage from Minji through will come Mom. It's going to land onto 4. It's going to be the all-out coming through from ICU. He is quite tanky. He's not being taken down just yet. A lot of burn coming through from Minji, though, as Arding also going to get rooted up. God JJ must be awfully close. They're going to find 1 kill on the back end as God JJ does have his execute. He's going forward. He gets devoured. He's going to go back into the whole team of J Team. And now Kuzma's not long for this world either, as he will be taken out. Teleport used from ICU to try to save this bot lane tower. Low health bars, but there is a heal on the center.
Think they can Baron. I mean, maybe Tom will TP back and he can tank it up. Oh, and Lakai's coming on the Fiora. Yeah, ICU has to TP bot lane to stop Fiora from taking another tier 2, as unfortunately Xingbai went down in the 1v1 in the side lane as well. God JJ just got a little overzealous, you know, on what looked like a very good fight.
Yeah, it just gets gobbled up and taken down. We'll see a replay. I mean, ICU does some living.
Minji. I mean, Minji has such a good start to this fight, but look at this 4-man knockup coming from the Nautilus. 3-man, rather. And ICU just tanks so much damage and gives God JJ so much time, you know, to land these 3-man Qs, 3-man Ws. You don't want to be fighting Smolder in these chokes. And just a little overzealous. He gets Q autoed here by the Tom Eaton, and, you know, it's a wrap.
Yeah, very, very close to picking up a triple kill there, but it was Yersan who was able to find it.
So Lakai goes down in the 1v1 here. We'll see what happens.
Oh, wow.
He actually just gets flashed on, I guess. Wow, that kills. I thought he'd need 2 vitals there, but just the 1. Kills him. This is a very strong Fiora. 3 items now.
Yeah, Xingbai working his way towards the Iceborne Corner. It is still Ocean Soul, so while Baron is on the side of J-Team, they absolutely have to fight for this dragon. Lakai's found himself a flank, but Arding and God JJ should be privy to the idea. Through will come this Nocturne ult, flash forward, there's not enough to peel. It is going to be 1 found, Lava picking up that kill. Another one as well as Xingbai gets taken out. ICU next to go down. It's only Arding and Kuzma left alive, and they won't be alive for much longer. Clean ace for the side of J-Team as they march down the mid-wave, trying to get this game over and done with.
Yeah, and we said Lakai would eventually have to group, but he's happy to do it once he's level 18 with 3 items, picking up at just about every tower on the map. He's so strong, he just walks into Hellpigs and kills God JJ, Xingbai after, with a little help from Lava, but yeah, it kind of all fell apart for the Hellpigs.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they were always behind in gold for the entirety of this game, especially after Lava putting the pressure on the bot lane, but it was